Yo, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Homie Hector here, and we're back on this 05 Honda Civic. Today we're going to be taking care of the front lower control arms. The bushing on this side is completely torn. The bushing on this side is right behind it. It's on its way out. So we're going to be taking care of these two control arms on the lower end. And they already come with bushings installed, so it's going to be an easy install. Lower control arm with bushings coming up. Now, one of the things we have going on here is we have vibration when braking. We also have a little bit of noise when braking, but it's not brake noise. It's more like a clunk or a thump, and that's coming from this front right lower control arm bushing. One of the ways you can tell if you have bad suspension and steering components is when you're going to torque your wheels, there's a lot of play in the wheel, and it looks a little something like this. Now you can see all the movement that's happening here as I'm torquing the wheel down. That movement also happens when you're braking. Now imagine that at 50, 60, 70 miles per hour. That's going to give you that high speed vibration and that loud noise coming from the suspension. So let me show you what this bushing looks like now. You can see right here how bad that lower control arm bushing is. So right now what I'm going to do is raise it up, remove the wheels, and then we're going to try a different test. Alright, one of the things that I want to do while I have it up in the air with the wheels off is I want to go inside, put it in drive, and hit the brakes, and I just want to see how this bushing reacts. Now, okay, now it's not going to be the same as if you're on the road, but we should be able to see something here. So let's go ahead and get a closer look, put it in drive, and slam on the brakes and see what happens. So this is the passenger side of the vehicle. Let's go over to the driver's side and see the difference. Okay, this is the driver's side of the vehicle, lower control arm bushing. You can see the bushing is still intact, so I don't expect to see much movement, but let's see how worn it is. Alright, so that right there was a front left lower control arm bushing. I'm going to go ahead and replace both arms with bushings right now. And after that, we're going to move on to the next part of the repair. You can see it's not as bad as the other one, but it was on the way out. Time to replace this chingadera. Alright, so these are the control arms that I'm going to be putting on. These are from Import Direct. I picked them up at my local O'Reilly Auto Parts. I got lifetime warranty on these parts. Time to pop these on. Okay. Alright, so now we're on the right side, passenger side of the vehicle. I'm going to do the same thing, replace the control arm, pop it in, then we're going to move on to the alignment part of the repair. First things first. All right, just got back from a test drive, and one of the first things I noticed is that my steering wheel was facing to the right. Now, this is as I'm driving down the road. In order to keep the car going straight, my steering wheel is like this. I want the steering wheel to be centered like this as I'm driving down the road. But what happens when I do this is my car goes to the left. Either the left front wheel or the right front wheel or both are pointing to the left, and that's why that car's going that way. So I got to go back out there, and if this wheel's pointing left, I got to adjust it this way. If the right front wheel's pointing left, I got to adjust it this way. Let's go outside. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Then we can see if the steering wheel is straight, and if it is, we're going to go compare the results to a proper alignment, and I'm going to show you guys why this DIY home alignment is good or it's not good for you. All right, so I'm over here by the right front wheel. The steering wheel is centered, it's straight, it's right where I want it. And if you look at this front right wheel, it's pointing to the left a little bit. So what you want to do is come in front of the car and eyeball the sidewalls. And right here, the back sidewall on this front tire is actually aligned with both sidewalls on the right rear tire. So right now what I got to do is make the adjustment, and what that's going to do is it's gonna move the tire, the back of the tire in, the front of the tire is gonna come out, and once we have it straight, we're gonna tighten it up and do the other wheel. All right, the first thing I'm gonna do is go to my tie rod. I have the outer tie rod here and the inner tie rod. Now, since I want the back of the tire to go in that way, I'm gonna have to shorten the length between the tie rods, which means that I'm gonna have to screw the inner tie rod into the outer tie rod to shorten the length and move this tire this way. Now I can turn it and screw the inner tie rod into the outer one. Alright, so that was one full turn. I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to lock it up. I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing, but counterclockwise. And then we're going to go check our steering wheel, see if it's centered. And if it is, we'll be good to go. All right, I'm on the front left wheel. I'm gonna repeat the same thing here, but I'm gonna do it counterclockwise. Alright, so this is all you want to do. Just align the sidewalls. Once you have the sidewalls aligned, then you know that your steering is going to be straight. There's no need for strings. So you can see right here that if I move a little to the right so I can align the sidewalls, right about here the back wall, the back sidewall on this front tire aligns with the back ones, and right here they all look like they're aligned. Alright, so let's go on a little test drive and see how our steering wheel looks now. Alright, now that we have the tie rods adjusted, steering wheel still looks centered. It looks pretty good. Let's go drive it, see if our steering wheel is straight like we want it to, and if it is, we're gonna go verify these results, these DIY home alignment results, with something from a shop and actual wheel alignment. Now this steering wheel looks really straight. It looks way better than before. Before, driving down the road, my steering wheel was like this in order for me to go straight. Now it's pretty damn near straight. All right, so what I'm gonna do right now is take it to a shop, get it aligned, and we're gonna see how close or how far from getting the actual alignment within specs. Alright, so we're back home from the alignment shop, and check it out. Let me show you the before measurements first. So this right here that we're looking at is the way we aligned it by using our DIY home alignment method, which is lining up the front sidewalls to the back sidewalls and getting our steering wheel straight that way. Now, like I said, and I told you guys before, that's only gonna get the steering wheel straight. That doesn't mean that the alignment is gonna be within specs. I set the steering wheel straight, and as you can see right here on the, the front left, you can see 0.58. On the front right, you can see 0.46. That's pretty close on each side. It's off, but it's evenly off. It's only off by 1/10 of a degree. Okay, but you can see our front toe to toe at 1.04. That alignment is off. Even though our steering wheel was straight, the alignment is off. So using the DIY at home method, even if you use a string, you're not gonna get it within specs. You need a machine to get it down to that 1/10 of a degree. Okay, now after they did the alignment, this is what it looks like. This is the left front, right front, close to 0, and that's the left rear, right rear. And as you can see on the before measurements, the left rear was off at 0.23. And you guys have to keep this in mind. The front alignment is actually based off the rear. You see the thrust angle right here at 0.07? That's because this rear toe was off. So even if we get the front close to 0, as soon as we move this one, that's gonna throw our toe back off. So that DIY at home method doesn't work because you're only aligning the front. If the back is off and there's alignment and you don't align it, the front is never gonna be within specs. That just goes to show you that at home DIY home method is gonna work only to give you that peace of mind that your steering wheel is straight. But as you can tell by the readings up here, I got the steering wheel even, but the readings were not within specs, even though my steering wheel was straight. So just because your steering wheel is straight, it does not mean that your alignment is good. All right, so there you have it. If you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, hit that little notification bell, and that's it, homies. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.
I just went in there, and Hector is gonna be running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines. And on top of that, he ordered 3 T66 turbos with NOS and a Motec system exhaust.